Hello, Assalamu alaikum students. This is your teacher, Azka, and today we are going to solve the question number 3 of paper 2, variant 2, accounting for Olevels and IGCSE, and this is your first paper for May June 2023. So now we are going to solve our question number 3. Okay, so question number 3 is basically from the non-profit organization like NPO, your club accounts. Okay, so Favorite Book Club was formed several years ago, and the subscription amount of $52 per annum has remained unchanged since the club started. So it means that basically their subscription amount of 52 is remain the same until this date. All subscriptions are paid by check or credit transfer. The treasurer provided the following information. So we have uh, 1st January 2022 information and the year end information. So we have subscription in advance, which is 260 and 156 respectively. Subscription in arrears, it is the basically amount which we our customer owed to us because we have given them services. We have given our services to them, but they didn't pay it. So 10404 December 2022. Insurance paid in advance 348 for the starting year, and the year end is 366. Cash and bank is 68 and 114. And after that, we have another information for the year to 31st December 2022. We have some receipts which we received some amount from the customer, and we also have some payments. We paid the rent, insurance, and general expenses. The club had 128 members in 2021 and 120 in 2022, so it means that it decreased by 8 customers. The treasurer is aware that 4 current members will not pay their subscription for 2022, so she had decided to write the subscription off. Okay. So prepare the subscription account for the year ended 31st December 2022 and balance the account and bring down the balance on 1st January 2023. Okay, so first of all, we have to make the subscription account. Okay, so we are basically making the subscription account for the 2023. 2023 first January. So this is basically first January. So it means that we have to record some transactions of 2023. So we know that we have to record some balances on the debit side. First of all, so we have balance beauty on the debit side. Okay. So what was the balance beauty? So basically the subscription account, so we know that all the types of the amounts which our customer owes to us, this basically our balance PD. So let's see that what will be our balance PD. So as you can see that for first January 2023, our balance PD is basically 468 which is subscription in years. So it means that we have to record it in that website. Okay, so after that, this is because our balance PD for the January 1st. So basically this is your APA account. So all the arrears which is for the starting of the year, so you will record the arrears, subscription arrears on the debit side by the name of balance period. And when we have some prepaid amounts, that means that advance subscriptions. So if it is for the starting year, so we will record that amount on the credit side. And when we have some prepaid amount at the end of the year, so we're going to record this at the debit side. And when we have some accrued amounts at the end of the year, so we will record that accrued amounts in the credit side. Like this is our balance CD, and this is our balance PD, and this is also our balance PD. So let's see that what is basically our prepaid amounts. So prepaid means advance. So this is basically that amount which is a customer advance payment. This is a customer advance payment. It means that we didn't give them any services yet, but they paid us something in advance. Okay. So as you can see, for first January 2022, it is 260. So it means that this is basically our balance sheet. And this is also our balance sheet because this is the balances of end of the year. Okay. So and we have some approved balances for the year end, which is balance CD 1040, and we have some prepaid amount also, which is also a balance CD, which will come under the other side, and it is not different. So if you don't know that what is APA account, so you should watch my approval and prepayments video. Because in this particular video, my total focus is basically on how to solve the past paper. It is not basically to give any concept about the app account and how to write, how to make the subscription account. Because whenever you are watching this video, so it means that you guys are also experienced and you have learned all the concepts of accounting. So that's the reason that I am not, I don't want, I'm not focusing on to on to make you guys understand the concepts of subscription accounting because you guys have already learned all the book. Okay, so after that, we have to record some bank entries that how much amount we have received during the year in our bank. So as you can see that in our receipt we can see that 5356 is basically the amount which we have received from the customer. So we will record it on the credit side because our subscription is basically our income. So income is crediting and bank is debiting via the 5356. Okay. So after that, one thing you have noticed that in this particular question, you can see that club had 128 members in 121 and 120 in 2022. The treasurer is aware that 4 current members will not pay their subscription for 2022. She had decided to write these subscriptions off. So whenever we are going to write the subscription off. So it means that we have to make the entry on the correct side. So there are basically 4 members are not there. So let's make some calculations. So it is 8 basically. And the one person who is paying The subscription, the amount is 52. So it means that we have to multiply 4 by 52. So we have 208 answer. Okay, so now this is the time to total the amounts on both sides. So we know that credit side is basically the heavier side. 260 plus 5356 plus 208 plus 1040 is equal to 6864 6864 and now minus 4 6864 minus 468 minus 156. So we have 6240 in our income and expenditure account. Six two four zero. So basically at the end, when we are going to close down our subscription account, so all the amount is basically which we have received or in our bank, or maybe it is accrued or something else. So we basically transfer all the amount in the income and expenditure account. So basically subscription is debiting and income and expenditure account is crediting, because subscription is our income. So at the end of the year, all the expenses which is debiting all the year, but when it transferred to the income statement, so it credited and income statement debited. But if it is about the income account, so at the end, income account is basically debiting because we are going to close down this account, and income and expenditure account is basically crediting because income subscription account is our income account. And the nature of income account is credit. Okay, so prepare the income and expenditure account for the year ended 31st December 2022. Okay, so let's do this. So this is basically for 6 marks. So first of all, we have some incomes. So in income, we have subscriptions first. So we know that we just calculated our subscription here, which is 6420. Okay, and there are no income here, so less expenses. So first of all, we have paid the rent. All these are basically payments. 2080. Insurance paid. General expenses paid. And also The subscription written off. So rent is basically 2080. Journal expenses 2498 and insurance. Okay, so we have an adjustment in insurance. So as you can see that we have paid 732 and we have paid this amount in 31st December 2022. Okay, but we have something else. Insurance paid in advance at the start of the year, which is 348, and at the end of the year, which is 366. So what we have to do, we have paid 732 in this year, and we have paid 348 in advance. So this was an asset in first January 2022. But because we are making the income and expenditure account for 223, so it means that this 348 expired now. So what does it mean? That we have to add this in this year's expense, but 366 is basically an advance payment, and this is for 2023. Because if you have paid in 2022, so it means that we will use this 366 in 2023, and when you paid 348 in advance at the start of the year, so it means that at the end of the year we have used this amount. So it means that we will add 348 into current year's expense, and we have to deduct 366 from the current year expense, because this is not your current year's expense. It is basically related to 2023. You paid 366 in advance at the end of the year, but it is basically for 2023. Okay, so 7328 plus 348. 732 plus 348 minus 366. So we have 714. Okay, so there are also subscription written off, which is for 208. So now if we total these expenses, so we have 5500, and when we deduct 6240 from, when we deduct 5500, which is our expenses, our total expenses, from the 6240, so we have surplus for the year, which is 740. Okay, so the treasurer is considering increasing the subscription amount in order to obtain sufficient funds, because his some members left the club. So it means that this will basically a problematic situation for them to increase their funds. So they considering that they would increase the amount of subscriptions to obtain sufficient funds to purchase computer equipment, and the equipment would cost $400 and would be used to maintain the club records. Okay. So advise the treasurer whether she should fund the purchase of computer equipment by increasing the subscription amount. Justify your answer by making points for and against increasing the subscription account. Calculation are not required. Okay. So this is basically for 5-mark question. So we can say that if they increase the subscription. Okay, so let's talk about the 4 points. So we can say if we increase the subscription account, so it may result because we are going to purchase the computers for it. So it may result uh, running the club more effectively, or you can say the efficiently. Okay, so if we talk about some more points, so we can say that subscription is basically remains unchanged from many years. So it is a high time. And when we say some points against to increase the subscription amount, so we can say that it may cause member leaving the club. And the second reason is membership is already falling, so it will be not a wise decision to increase the subscription amount. And we can say that it may result more subscription being written off, and it will decrease our profits. So whatever you say, for example, if you are basically against these points, so you can give out your opinion. And if you are basically agree with this statement, so you can agree and you can write one more point in the support of your answer. So state the meaning of following terms. For first of all, we have first term, which is receipt and payment account. So what is receipt and payment account? So we know that it is a type of cash book, summary of cash book. It is a summary of cash book of a club, because this is basically only used for club account. If we are talking about the profitable business, profit making business, so we always use cash book. But if we are talking about the club accounts, so we will convert or change the name of cash book into the receipt and payment account, and it is usually prepared manually annually. And accumulated fund, so we know that assets is liability of a club society is basically your accumulated fund. Assets plus liabilities of a club society, basically called the accumulated fund. So we have completed this question, and we will discuss our question number 4 in the next class. And this is basically for the partnership, and it is very important. Partnership account is very important. So now I am signing off from this class. Goodbye.